It's finally here. After years of writing, rewriting, doubting, deleting, rewriting, it's finally here. I'm so excited. I have been waiting for this moment for months. This is Glitz and Grit, Beyond the Spotlight. It's my story. Years of training, performing, competing, the good times and the bad. And I'm going to open it right now. And I want to do that right now because I want to share this moment with you. So here we go. Oh, wow. This is really, I don't know what to say. It's really beautiful. It turned out so much better than I thought. Wow, and it's holding it in my hands right now. It's, wow, it's real. It's real. I've seen the cover digitally. My ebook's been out for months now, and but oh wow, this really, I'm so proud of this. It took me so long. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Look. When I started thinking about writing this book years ago, I was coaching young athletes and sharing with them my stories, sharing it with friends and parents and, you know, anybody that I could encourage and share my life of 22 years on the road. And you know, every time I told this story, my friends and you know, just anybody I shared it with would be like, Christine, you've gotta write this down. You need to write a book. And you know, I never thought about it before until, you know, people kept saying that to me, and then I thought, yeah, maybe I should. But that took years, and I don't think I was ready quite back then to share, to be vulnerable, to share those good times and the bad times. You know, the years of skating on tour in the 80s, the 90s, into the 2000s. I kept all the pictures, the memorabilia of the tours, all the cities we went to tour in and to visit. You know, so many things, and I kept my journals where I wrote down what I went through and experiences. And you know, there was a lot of stories that, you know, didn't make it into this book, and it was really hard to decide what to share and what not to share. Just so many. And so yeah, there's a lot that that didn't get in the book, and who knows, maybe I'll write another a sequel. When I decided to write it, it probably took me walking away from skating, from a life and a career on the road that spanned over 20 years, having to build a new career that had nothing to do with skating, and then coming back to skating many years later, to coaching, and to coaching the next generation of young skaters, and finally feeling ready to share this story, to share my story. And you know, this story is about behind the curtains of show skating, the excitement and the pressures of performing under the spotlights, how devastating it can be when those lights dim and that life ends. You know, the mental and emotional warfare that goes on in show skating life, traveling with ice shows, how difficult it is. It's definitely not an easy life. The pressure to execute flawless performances, to be perfect in every show, and the thrill and the excitement and adrenaline of being in front of hundreds or thousands of people and hearing the applause. It was so addicting. You just never want it to end, and when it does end, it's really hard. And this story is about all of those good times and bad, all of the excitement, the struggles, some tragedies, difficulties, and how I managed through each change, each new career, each new pivot that I had to go through in the life after show skating. As difficult as this life in the show was, it was also an incredible privilege to entertain audiences all over the world, in 22 countries. So definitely feel very grateful and very privileged to do that. Then, of course, the challenges of time and energy, split between life of being married, of having a new baby on tour, and the joys, yet the stresses of that, the demands of time and the feelings of guilt, sometimes never quite feeling like I was doing anything as well as I wanted to do. It was really, really tough to balance all of that. And then, the identity crisis of being, of having that life end, of it no longer inspiring, no longer having those endorphins and that adrenaline rush. When the applause stopped and the lights dimmed, that was a really, really difficult time. Who was I at that point? And the fears of, what do I do now? How do I navigate this huge life change? And so here it is in this book. It's real now. It's out there, published. And there's lots of pictures in here, and some of them are not clear and they're a little bit fuzzy, but forgive me, but these were pictures from way back in the 80s, and cameras and lenses and development of those pictures wasn't quite the way it is today. So, but I think they show the feeling and the atmosphere, and I do think they show what I wanted to tell. And so why does this book matter? I wrote this book for a number of reasons. First of all, for athletes who fall, who fail, who struggle to get back up and continue to find that resilience and determination to not give up, who struggle with injury and failure, wondering if their dreams and hopes are going to slip away, who think they can't come back from injury or failure. You're not alone. I've been there, and you can get through it. You can build resilience and be resilient. Secondly, for anyone whose curtain is closing, who's moving on from one chapter of their life to another, and maybe an identity is shifting, or struggle between motherhood and career, or you're terrified of what's coming next, and what if you fail? I know that fear, and I want you to know there is a next chapter. And of course, for anyone who ever wondered what it's really like behind the curtains of show skating, what it takes to be successful in the world of ice shows, or even what's in the mind of a performer or an Olympic champion or a world competitor, when everything is on the line, that internal battle that goes on and that goes on inside you, and how do you find the courage to persevere, to move forward? How do you get up after a fall or an embarrassing moment, that you can build that resilience and you can succeed? It's all in here. All of those stories, all the things I learned that helped me become strong and resilient, and to be able to persevere through some really difficult times. Writing this took me honestly decades, and I started and I stopped many times, and many parts were very painful, frankly, and at times I couldn't believe how emotional I got reliving some stories, and how much I miss those days. Some of them are really painful, and yet others are just that fill me with joy that I've got all those wonderful memories. And yes, writing it was very daunting, and a little scary. Uh, the thought of having these private moments of mine out there for anyone to read or judge or critique, something a show skater does every day. You put yourself out there, and I thought I had learned how to overcome that, but this feels a little different. But something shifted when I started coaching young athletes, those with big dreams of one day going to the Olympics, and what that would take. And I saw them facing a lot of the same battles that I faced as a young competitor, and even into being a professional skater. These challenges are big, but there's tools and there's a mindset that you can build to overcome those fears and challenges. And I also saw other mothers of my skaters struggling with the guilt and the split between the responsibilities, and I know that feeling. I know I went through a lot of feeling that guilt, but the scariest part was hitting publish, and then it made it real. It was no longer me reminiscing. It was no longer me just writing stories down and enjoying them. It was now sharing them with everyone. And but then I realized that, if I can help just one person survive what I survived, then the vulnerability, the possibility of failure is worth it. Even if just one person finds this book, reads it, and is encouraged by it, then it's all worth it. So I finished it, hit publish, and here it is. And truly, I'm really quite proud of this book, and I hope that you will read it. But beyond my wanting you to buy it and read it, I hope it will start a conversation about mindset training and mental health, and especially with what's going on after the Olympics and the upcoming Worlds. This is a very relevant conversation to have now. So this is Glitz Grit, Beyond the Spotlight, and it is now available at Amazon, at Barnes and Noble, at Chapters Indigo, all the bookstores. Links will be in the description. But again, more than wanting you to buy it, which I do, I want you to know that whatever your story is, whatever dream that you are striving to achieve, whatever new stage that you are stepping onto, that you can overcome the fear. You can become resilient, and you can succeed. It'll be scary. It may even take years, but that moment you accomplish what you set out to, and you persevere through all the challenges, you'll be so glad you did it, and it'll be so worth it. So again, I'm hoping that this just isn't my story anymore, that it's a conversation about resilience, about mental strength, finding the courage to achieve your dreams, finding the courage to step into a new phase of life fearlessly, and I hope that conversation continues. So if you read it, then I'm hoping that you'll leave me a comment, that you'll let me know what it means to you, what insights maybe it gave you. Whether you liked it or not, please leave a review, leave an honest review, whether you like it or you didn't like it. It's all good. It helped me out so much for you to do that. So thank you. Thank you for being here to share this moment with me of a big moment in my life. And I'm really glad that you were here to share this special moment with me. Thank you.